The Woman Warrior by Maxine Henry Kingston. There you go. You must not tell anyone, my mother said, what I am about to tell you. In China, your father had a sister who killed herself. She jumped into the family well. We say that your father has our brothers because it is as if she had never been born. In 1924, just a few days after our village celebrated 17 hurry-up weddings, to make sure that every young man who went out on the road would responsibly come home, your father and his brothers, and your grandfather and his brother, and your aunt, your husband sailed for America, the Gold Mountain. It was your grandfather's last trip. Those lucky enough to get contracts waved goodbye from the deck. They fed and guarded the stowaway and helped them off in Cuba, New York, Bali, Hawaii. We met in California next year, they said. All of them sent money home. I remember looking at your aunt one day when she and I were dressing. I had not noticed before that she had such a protruding melon of a stomach, but I did not think she's pregnant until she began to look like other pregnant women, her skirt pulling up the white tops of her black pants showing. She could not have been pregnant, you see, because her husband had been gone for 6 years. No one said anything. We did not discuss it. In early summer, she was ready to have the child, long after the time when it could have been possible. The village had also been counting. On the night the baby was born, the villager raided our house. Some were crying like a great sow, teeth strung with lights. Files of people walked zigzag across our land, tearing the rice. Their lantern doubled in the disturbed black water which drained away through the broken bound. As the villager closed in, we could see that some of them, probably men and women we knew well, wore white masks. The people with their long hair hung over their faces. Women with short hair made it stand up on end. Some had tied white band around their foreheads, arms, and legs. At first they threw mud and rock at the house. Then they threw eggs and began slaughtering our stock. We could hear the animals scream, their death, the roosters, the pig, a large great roar from the house. Familiar wild heads flared in our night window. The villagers encircled us. Some of the faces stopped to peer at us, their eyes rushing like searchlights. The hands flattened against the panes, framed heads, and left red prints. The villager broke in the front and the back door at the same time, even though we had not blocked the door against them. Their knives dripped with the blood of her animals. They smeared blood on the door and walls. One woman swung a chicken whose throat she had slit, splattered blood and red eggs about her. We stood together in the middle of our house, in the family hall, with the pictures and tables of the ancestors around us, and looked straight ahead. At that time, the house had only 2 wings. When the men came back, we would build 2 more to enclose our courtyard and a third one to begin a second courtyard. The villagers pushed through both wings, even your grandparents' room, to find your aunt, which was also mine until the men returned. From this room, a new wing for one of the younger families would grow. They ripped her clothes and shoes and broke her comb, grinding them underfoot. They tore her work from the loom. They scattered the cooking fire and rolled the new weaving in it. We could hear them in the kitchen, breaking our bowls and banging the pot. They overturned the great waist tie. When they left, they took sugar and oranges to bless themselves. They cut pieces from the dead animals. Some of them took bowls that were not broken and clothes that were not torn. Your aunt gave birth in the piggy style that night. The next morning when I went for the water, I found her and the baby plunging up from the family well. Don't let your father know I told you. He denies her. Now that you have started to menstruate, what happened to her could happen to you. Don't humiliate us. You wouldn't like to be forgotten, as if you had never been born. The villagers are watchful. So, this book, The Human Warrior, was about a lady in China who was pregnant when her husband was away. So she gave birth to the baby, and afterwards she killed herself and the baby. That's it.